Hey guys, Huzz here, bringing you another video. Now today is a bit of a throwback video, and I'm thinking about making it a regular thing. And this is a pre-recorded commentary. This is using a replay file that I have of a game that I played a few days ago, and giving a commentary over the top. Now, the overlay you see on the screen is my old school overlay. I haven't used this thing in maybe a year or I don't know. And obviously at the bottom left, it's got the old logo and everything. So I'm probably going to have to get a new one of these, but that's fine. And today we are playing Orianna. Now we do go in the tri-bush and we do find a Lucian sleeping, and I actually pick up first blood myself. But for those who have never watched one of these on my channel particularly, this is what the channel was originally. This was all my channel. This was how I gained a bit of popularity and everything like that. So hopefully you'll enjoy this. It is different to the live commentaries. And what these tend to offer is a more in-depth analysis of the game. These tend to, you know, instead of just focusing on myself, because obviously the live ones, I'm live playing the game. You're getting my thought process of the game. You're getting everything like that. In these pre-done ones, you're getting everything. You're getting why is bot lane doing that. I can go in more depth about item builds. Everything like that is in these videos. And in the comments below, if you do want to see more of these types, let me know and I will make it a regular thing. Now, I haven't done one of these in a very long time, so if I'm a bit rusty, you'll have to bear with me, and I've now put everybody at the bottom there in order. So I'm against a Vladimir mid. Now, Vladimir, he's not really a mid laner, as many of you probably know, but he is actually kind of annoying to lane against. He's got a lot of sustain, which a lot of mid laners don't. You know, Orianna doesn't have sustain, I have a shield. Usually, in this matchup, I would want to take E first, the shield. But obviously the first blood on Lucian, I took Q to just secure the kill. Now I'm level 2, I can get the shield. Obviously using the Winter Orianna skin because it's amazing. So let's go in depth about the team comps. You know, which team comp do I favour and why? So my team, let's start with it. Top lane, we have a Pantheon. Jungle, we have a Vi. Mid, yeah, we've got Orianna. And bottom lane, we've got an MF Morgana. Enemy team, there's a Aurelia top, there is a Master Yi jungle, there's a Vladimir mid lane, and a Lucian Nami bot lane. So on team comps, I prefer the enemy team. Why? Well, let's go into it. On my team, Aurelia got a Pantheon top. I'm not a big fan of Pantheon, many of you probably know that, especially versus Aurelia. Yes, Pantheon is going to have the early advantage, but if Aurelia can just get through lane phase without dying that much, then she's going to basically own him late game. There's no question about it. In jungle, we have a Vi versus a Master Yi. Arguably, that's a kind of close matchup. Vi has a better lane phase than a Master Yi if she does it right and like just plays like a good Vi. And obviously, Master Yi late game is a monster. But also Vi is, she's very good in late game. She does a lot of damage and is quite tanky. In the mid lane, okay, this is probably the one matchup that I'm like, okay, in lane phase, Vladimir has the, you know, the advantage. In the late game, both of us are team fighting are monsters. So this could go either way. Now, you can see Vi there. She's just trying to look for a gank. She is in the Wolves Pit. And here comes the charging Q. Fortunately, she missed it. If she hit that Q, that was probably going to be a dead Vlad. Unfortunately, she missed it. It happens. You're not going to hit every single one. Moving over to the top lane, just to kind of briefly show you, Pantheon is getting ganked. He should be able to get away. Oh, he actually went for the kill, and he does secure it. Will he live? I doubt he will. And he does use that, but then a Master Yi Q, and he does go down. Mid lane, we're just simply farming. Vi again misses a Q, which led to Master Yi being able to get away. And then that ends that story in top lane. Bottom lane, again, furthering into why I prefer the enemy team comp. It's a Misfortune. Misfortune is not played for a reason, is that she, in a whole 4 spells, only 2 of them are really useful. The ultimate, it can work in certain situations, but normally it's not that great. It doesn't do a lot of damage. So when you're playing MF, your main 2 spells is your Q and W. She's just positioned in a really weird way there, basically just taking free damage for nothing. But yeah, I do like Morgana's sort of support though against the Nami, although Nami also is very good. Especially in late game with the wave, because obviously Morgana can only shield one person. So if she hits a good wave, then all of us will be affected. Now in mid lane right now, I am going very aggressive onto the Vladimir. I actually have burnt Ignite at this point, and Vladimir has burnt Barrier. And I am making a very big mistake by staying around this long. Nearly get him, nearly get him. It really would have been good if I did. And now, what am I doing? You know, this is the reason why these videos are quite good, is that I can watch myself do this. There is Flash, and I burnt Flash as well. That was really poorly played by myself. What I should have done then, so I should have backed, 100% should have backed way earlier. But arguably on my side, I actually did think Master Yi used Flash, because I do remember in the chat of when Vi missed Q up here, Pantheon said something in chat like, oh, close one or something, and my thought process was, oh, that means that he's probably flashed away from her. So that was kind of my bad. Let's speed up the game to get back to lane phase as quick as possible. So, farm-wise, let's go through it. Pantheon does have an advantage in top lane. I kind of predict that. You know, it's a Pantheon versus an Aurelia, and he also does have kill up on her. Jungle. Now, this is where the weird point comes in, and this is where this Vi... You'll see later on that she did do very well. Bit of a spoiler there, but oh well. But she's just farming in the lane phase as a Vi versus Master Yi. Master Yi has 2 kills right now and only 19 farm. Vi has nothing, no assists, no kills, and she has 27 farm. That is... that. In theory, they should really be opposites in that regard. You know, Vi should be the one with kills and less farm, and Master Yi should be with no kills and more farm. So, bit of a weird one coming out in the jungle in the early phase. In mid lane, we have rather even CS. I kind of predicted that. You know, he has the sustain. I have a bit of poke. So we're kind of just going back and fighting each other. I doubt many kills are going to happen in this lane early. Now, Master Yi, he seems to like me quite a bit. So he is looking for another gank. Which, again, I find that so weird. Master Yi's on some people that don't gank. You know, his item, his jungle item that he's gone, is the Skirmisher's Saber, which is the one that I do believe you get... is that the one you get stacks off, I think? Vi is looking for a gank, and it's so close. Again, she misses the Q, unfortunately. But Vlad nearly killed himself there. He does hit level 6. I am level 6, so what I'm going to try and do, I would think, is look for an ultimate anytime before his W comes on cooldown. I do know the cooldown is quite high. He used his ult there, basically... just to clear the wave. I pick up the kill by shielding the Vi. Now, many of you, if you're unaware, any ball movement does damage if it hits an enemy. So if you have the shield recall to you if you have the ball recall to you using shield, obviously the traveling time of it coming back to you, if it hits an enemy in that traveling time, it will do damage. That's what happened then. I shielded the Vi and it hit the Vladimir while it was traveling to the Vi, and then I pick up the kill in that regard. You know, any Q will do damage even on the way, so any damage will, you know, any ball movement. Now, unfortunately for Pantheon, he does go down. Now, this is what I was dreading up in top lane, because I've played this matchup several times as an Aurelia. And again, if you just survive early, you will own a Pantheon late game. It's a Pantheon, you know, and even in jungle, they can do extremely well in the jungle, but late game, you pretty much just go tank and just absorb damage. You're not useful late game unless you're extremely fed. Now, Vladimir is pushing into me. What Vi has done a bit weird is she's gone to Wolves. Like, I'm right, okay, I want blue. I need blue. And now she's going to Gromp. Like, I don't get the thought process of delaying the blue buff. That's just me. Farm-wise in mid lane, I am a little bit ahead. But obviously, bot lane is a very big difference also. You have a 71 CS Lucian versus a 57 CS MF. I'm not surprised. Pantheon actually does pick up a kill on the Aurelia simply because she didn't back at low health. So that's a free kill for him, I guess. Which is a big mistake for Aurelia. You really shouldn't try and give any advantage to a Pantheon in lane phase. Now, I do not know what this Vladimir is doing. I don't get the thought process. He knows that the Vi is around helping me do blue buff, so I really don't get why is he here. So he's used his barrier already. I think I just threw the ignite down, and any second he should go down. I do believe... Oh, no, I don't use my flash. Vi uses it, and we pick up a kill. So that is the second kill that the Vi has been involved with. Vlad just left the game there, apparently. I don't know whether he just did like a little rage thing. I have no idea. But I don't get why he was here. There was no reason for him to be around that blue buff at that point. His jungler was nowhere near him and stuff like that. So bot lane, there was a trade. Lucian picked up a kill, I believe, and MF picked up a kill. But MF stayed alive, so that is worth it for our bot lane. because it means MF can continue to farm and try to catch up in this CS. She will get close. She won't get, you know, exactly perfect, but she will get close. And yeah, this game, okay, it's going okay so far. The gold difference is of around 500 gold. Master Yi, now what's happening now is a 4-0 Master Yi has now overtaken the Vi in CS, but he's already got a kill lead on her, which shouldn't happen. It never happens, you know. A Master Yi doesn't gank in the early phase, apart from this Master Yi. Now, I don't know what the Vladimir is doing. I actually didn't even know. You know, that's what these replays do, is you can kind of point out different things. That Vladimir, for those who just kind of saw, used ultimate there, and also uses W to take off 20% of his own health. I have no idea why. Literally no idea. Maybe they're in a bad mood. Maybe, you know, they did leave the game after this kill over here. So maybe they're raging. I don't really know. I am looking for even more damage. You can see my damage is now starting to scale up. So now let's go into the item build. I built Morello Nomicon first. Why did I build Morello first? Because I'm against the Vladimir. Because his main thing is healing. And Morello Nomicon obviously counters that. Now, there is a fight going on in this river here. I believe Master Yi was doing Dragon or that something along those lines, and Vi just was able to pick him up. Really nice kill. And she also gets a very big, you know, killing spree from that, so that's great. Vi is finally starting to do some damage. Now, what Vi did this game was a bit odd, while meanwhile in top lane, Pantheon does die again, is that she's got the Warrior Stalker's Blade, so she's doing a lot of damage, but a normal Vi player, sure, you can go the Brutalizer, I guess, but this does not happen with our Vi. She actually opts for going into a lot of damage. Now, unfortunately, I go for an all-in ultimate there. If the ultimate hit, that was a kill, but he does end up just, you know, sanguine pulling it and does survive. It's one of their matchups that, you know, he does have a counter to my ultimate. I only really can 100% hit that ultimate if, you know, nobody's looking, or if he's not really paying attention, and he doesn't have the pool up on cooldown. Now, there is something going on in the bot lane. Also, there was a trade that both pairings are quite low. I don't really know why MF has to base right now. Otherwise, unless she has a lot of gold. She does have 16. Okay, that's fair enough. Because they actually finished that little 2v2 fight with more health than the enemy. Which means they could have just stayed in lane. But they do opt to go back. My CS lead in mid lane is actually pulling a little bit ahead from him. We were even a lot in this lane. But now I am starting to pull ahead. And also Vi has started to, you know, pull ahead again. Now, if you're familiar with my mid play, the recent Syndra commentary, I always ward these wraiths, or birds, chickens, whatever you want to call them. Simply because if you find a Master Yi, or even a Vladimir in some cases, doing this camp at low health, it's a free kill a lot of the time, especially on things like Syndra, but it can also work for Orianna. So Vladimir, I'm not really sure what his plan is anymore. I don't know, maybe they're still raging. Who knows? So there is a Master Yi there. That could be a free kill potentially. That's a lot of damage coming up from Pantheon, but he does simply just use Flash and gets away. That's very nice by Pantheon. He was coming to mid lane potentially looking for a roam because he probably knows he's actually in very big trouble against an Aurelia now. It's mid, or it's coming into the mid game very shortly, and he's getting outscaled. He's continuing to build damage, which if I was him, I'd just go tank now, and Vladimir is now moving into the general area. He uses ultimate straight away, so I simply just run away from it and let it go down, and now I can go back being aggressive. Vi is moving into the area also, so this in theory should be a dead Vlad. There is a very nice combo by myself. That is a W and a ultimate, and that was a nice kill by Vi, so thank you very much. Now, I'm just simply going to shield her, keep her alive. She does flash the Aurelia, and she survives by the skin of her teeth. If I did not shield that, then she would have died. But very nice movement by Vi. Now, what happens here is actually quite funny. I thought Aurelia might be flanking around to the right, but she just simply gives up for the kill. Vi thought that she was probably flanking around this side, and she's decided to bait it. So she does survive, that's great. Bot lane, there was a fight, unfortunately, that my team lost it, but again, I'm not surprised. It's a Lucian versus a Misfortune. You know, Lucian is a lot stronger than an MF. MF in a lot of these 2v2 fights will actually not be able to use her ultimate very well. Now, Pantheon does overextend over here and simply just dies for free. This Pantheon, this game, I think I played it yesterday from recording this video. This Pantheon was a rager. He was somebody that, because he wasn't doing well, he always wanted to surrender the game. He didn't care how others were doing. And he's just one of them people that just make you in a bad mood. It's like, okay, you're not actually insulting anybody, but you're just bringing down the tone of the game big time. Now, this Vladimir is starting to play pretty damn weird. You can see my damage is so much more than his. He might have died from the ignite, but he did use that little heal, so I do go for the flash kill. Arguably not worth it, but I do go for it anyway. You know, that kill was nice. It's good that I got that kill, but was it worth a flash? That's the kind of things you've got to be thinking about. Now, when you're at this point in the game, you've got to kind of be thinking, who are the threats in the enemy team? Who are the people that I'm going to be worried about? Who are the people that are going to be dealing the damage? And if you look into this game, it's going to be 1, the Master Yi, and 2, the Lucian. And eventually, it's going to be the Aurelia, although her build is quite odd. On our team, the damage dealers is myself. Now Vi, because you can see her build is very aggressive, and maybe Misfortune, but probably not that much considering it's a Misfortune. So she does have to be careful with the MF. She is overextending a bit. They do have a bit of vision, and she will be definitely dead. The Master Yi is coming in for the kill, and she's also running towards the Lucian, which I'm wondering who they're going to give the kill to. They do give it to Master Yi, which I think is actually a mistake. We just came back to mid lane as I actually made a, again, I did an ultimate, and he simply pulled it. You know, you've got to try. The one thing I'll say is there's no point having ultimate on cooldown, or up on cooldown all the time. If you're not using it, it's pointless. So I do eventually get the kill, so that's not bad. And Master Yi is in the area, unfortunately for me. I should have, like, maybe just tried to run away a little bit earlier, but that will be maybe a surviving war. No, it won't. Nice kill by Nami there. That was really nice. Vi is in the enemy jungle doing a bit of counter jungling. And again, if the Master Yi and the Vi fights each other, that would be a very interesting fight because both of them are pretty damn fed. I would probably give it right now to Master Yi, but we'll have to see. So Pantheon is running down the mid lane. He's going to look for something. Vi is also coming. That is a dead Nami. Like, boom, she's dead. And these two are going to continue going for some kills. Maybe. And here we go, here we go. So there's a little duel going on. From memory, this was a really good one. So they jump on the Master Yi. Boom. And Tiamat. Really nice play by the Vi. That was awesome. She survived on about 40 health. She got the kill due to that Tiamat proc. She used it at the exact right time, which let her live and let her kill the enemies. Now, going for the Gromp is questionable, but she does a lot of damage, so okay, she just kills it instantly, so that's really good. Aurelia is in the general area, but she's extremely squishy at this point, so if she does decide to go all in on people, it will probably be a free kill. Now, what MF has to be careful with is, you know, Aurelia is moving down the river. Okay, Aurelia just completely avoids the Misfortune. Okay, that's fine. So Vladimir has decided to go top lane. Maybe they're raging in chat saying, I can't mid lane anymore. Who knows? We are looking for a pick onto the Nami, which hopefully we'll be able to get. I hit my QW, which does slow her, as well as the Dark Binding or Exhaust, and the MF picks up a free kill. That's really nice. So the game is moving into definite mid-game. We are now looking for teamfight opportunities. Pantheon actually does kill Vladimir 1v1, which is great. I doubt he'd be able to kill Aurelia anymore. And here we go. We're moving in, seeing if we can do... There's an MFO, and you can see that is a full... Unfortunately, again, I missed my ultimate. That's not great. But we do pick up both of the kills nonetheless. MFO, that was a direct MFO, and it really didn't do a lot of damage. And that is the problem with MF. I like the champion design, but two of her abilities are practically useless. The E does basically nothing, and the ultimate, it could be such a better ultimate if they gave her better scaling, or even a different ultimate, I don't know. But yeah, we do pick up them kills for free. That is great, which does now make my score 5-2-4, with the MF also being 3-2-3. So let's check into the gold. I haven't done this in a while. So let's compare lane to lane. So our Pantheon is sitting total gold. If you look into the brackets of each, that is the total number of 6,600 compared to the 5,800 of Aurelia. In the jungle, while basically what's happening there is Vi's one-shotting people, even with Exhaust. Jungle, there's a big difference in the jungle. 9,000 gold for our Vi, 7,800 for the Master Yi. So that's our Vi just starting to snowball extremely well. She's now 9-1-1. Mid lane, I'm at 7,400 compared to the 5,400 of the Vlad. So yeah, I'm very ahead of my lane opponent. And then in bot lane, basically 7,000 for MF compared to the 6,700 for Lucian. So there's not a big difference in that. And then in bot lane, again, not a very big difference. So there is something happening in the mid lane. I use Flash. And again, Master Yi dodges it by Alpha Strike, and he's just going to go on a murdering spree being a Master Yi, and he gets a triple kill. What's annoying this game is what you have to understand is a Orianna, great, her ultimate's amazing in team fights. 2 of the enemy can actually dodge it with quite ease. You've got a Master Yi that can Alpha Strike, you know, his Q. He can just simply use that, and he basically becomes immune to everything if he times it in the right way or just dodges abilities. And then you have a Vladimir who can Sanguine Pool my ult. Now again, I'm probably going to keep missing these Vi kills because she kills everybody instantly. Especially this Nami, there is nothing. She Qs one auto attack with E and then uses Tiamat and they're dead. So I can't really always catch them kills. She is taking blue, but she can have it. You know, she is extremely fed being 10-1-1 right now. But again, she is building pure damage. Look how aggressive this build is. She's got Stalker's Blade, Warrior, she's got Tiamat, she's got Brutalizer, and she's got Last Whisper. That is one of the most aggressive Vi jungle builds I have ever seen in my whole career of playing LoL. You know, so questionable. You know, if the enemy teams start to get a bit of traction and they can just simply kill the Vi by focusing her, we're in trouble because she hasn't built tank. Now the enemy are looking for maybe a pick. You can see our damage actually coming out is quite high. Again, if that was anybody else's ultimate, that would have probably been a free kill. I do an ultimate onto the Lucian, which again is a free kill. And hopefully we're going to pick up this Master Yi. There we go. Double kill for myself, which is pretty nice. Lucian, what he did there, unfortunately for him, was he wasn't looking at the floor. My ball was already sitting on the floor by ulting him, and he just didn't move. He didn't E away from it or anything. Again, Vlad, not looking where my ball is, free kill for me. A lot of people get caught out by that. Not often at high elo. You know, this is a Diamond 2, Diamond 3 game. Sure, in low elo, I understand that, you know, people's awareness is less and probably they're not looking at the ground for an Orianna ball. But you'd probably think majority of the time in Diamond, people would. And that's just 2 points, like, right there that people didn't. The Lucian and the Vlad. So unfortunately for them, they die, but fortunate for us, we get a mid-tower tier 2, so that's really good. So the game, we're now starting to get traction. You know, this game was even at one point, with the gold being extremely close. The gold gap is starting now to open. We're now at a 6,000 gold lead, with also the kills now we're being at a, you know, a considerable lead as well, 8 kills. So the people who are, you know, fed on my team is one, the Vi, picking up, unfortunately they do go down, they overextended 3v2, but the Vi is extremely strong, and myself, I'm extremely strong too. Now I just got minion blocked to hell and gone then. Vladimir does try and go all in for a kill, but it's not going to go amazingly well for him. We are going to just continue running, not much point to stay around, I don't want to die for free, but I will actually stay around in the area. Morgana is, I think, thinks the same thing as me any second. There's a free Nami kill right now, and bang, boom. Free kill, there's a kill of Morgana. I don't mind that she got it. A kill's a kill, and there will be that done there. So again, let's look into the CS a bit. This is the point in my personal game where I actually start not doing great. And I know this, and this is one thing to say. If you want to get better at League of Legends, identify mistakes. Identify things that you personally could get better at, because every single one of you watching this right now is not a perfect player. You will have a lot of flaws. You'll have a lot of things you need to improve on. And say you're bronze or you're silver, you'll have a lot of more things to work on than, say, a diamond player, obviously. You know, they're just... And identifying them is the first stage. Identifying what you're actually not very good at or things you need to improve on is actually a big step for a lot of people, because there are a lot of people at all the ratings in League of Legends that think they're amazing players, that think that they don't need to improve on anything in particular, and they could be in silver, you know, and to think that is weird. So we are going to look for a kill onto the Master Yi. There is Vi coming in, and we just simply one-shot him. And that's what we need to do. But that is also what the enemy needs to do, comparing to our Vi or myself, is that the enemy team, my enemy team, the only person I'm scared of now is the Master Yi. On my team, the people that they should be scared of is myself as an Orianna. If I get a good ultimate off, then they're going to practically be dead. Here is going to be a little team fight here. Any second, I'm going to flash, use my ultimate, pick up a couple of kills, or 1 kill at least. And then I was thinking about going for the Aurelia, but I decided against it. There is also a Lucian ultimate coming down. But again, as I was saying, the people that the enemy team should be scared of is myself as Orianna, and also our Vi. Me and her do extreme amounts of damage. Both of us actually being quite squishy, obviously, but doing a lot of damage. Now in mid lane, Misfortune is trying to do as much as she can basically against everybody in one go. Unfortunate for Vi, she missed her Q again. She's done that quite a bit this game, but she has played well. Got to give it to her. And also MF will probably go down. And there you go. There's a free double kill for the enemy. But we do, or I pick up the tier 2 in bot lane. So, you know, swings and roundabouts. So we do actually get a kill for it. Pantheon goes very deep into the enemy base. He does pick up the Aurelia. But he most likely is now dead. So, not probably that worth it. But still, not the worst that can happen. He did pick up a kill for it. Now I pick up my Zhonya's. So now I have 562 AP at the 25-minute mark. That's a pretty good AP score to have. That'll be dealing a lot of damage. And again, as I was saying, identify your mistakes as the first stage of getting better in League of Legends. You know, if yours is, okay, my last hitting is bad. My awareness is bad. If you're a jungler, I can't gank in the early game. I don't know where to go. Identifying that of what you need to improve on is a really big thing. For myself, let's go specifically into mid lane right now, is in mid game, I always lose out on CS. I get to a score, it's usually between 150 to 200 in the mid game. And then after that point, I'm like, right, how do I get CS now? Because I always find people are just taking it from me. Maybe I need to be a bit more forceful in taking it. I'm not really sure. But yeah, that is something that I desperately need to improve on. Nami Wave does come out. That kind of caught me by surprise. Master Yi is going all in for me. I use my ultimate combo, then use Zhonya's, but I do think I'm going to go down. Meanwhile, Vi actually took the dragon by herself, and now my team needs to run away. So that honestly was not, well, kind of worth a dragon, kind of not. That was a good MF ult, but again, it did no damage, like literally 0 damage. Now again, what is Morgana doing? I have no idea. She just gave away a free kill. She knows the enemy is still in the general area. Now this Vi seems to love the Nami as well. You can see she one-shots the Nami all the time. But is that useful right now? You know, they're in mid lane. Not probably the most useful thing. Now she doesn't have ultimate to do any protecting, etc. But yeah, we pick up the dragon. But at a big cost. We lost the mid turret. We're about to lose a tier 2 turret. And obviously 4 deaths. So that isn't great. But it does kind of make us go towards the 5 dragon goal. Right now we're on 3 stacks of dragon. So we do get the movement speed right now. But yeah, again, not great. Vi is moving into the area. There is a Vladimir right now. She might be able to catch him, but no, she does go for the ward instead. So I'm in mid lane doing a bit of, like, again, last hitting. This is something that I've said I need to improve on. Now, realistically, a lot of people say, so last hitting, how important is it? Last hitting is very important. Meanwhile, Pantheon dies for free into the top lane, or a Tribush against Lucian. But yeah, last hitting is very important. Last hitting is basically the bulk of your gold. In low yellow, the reason why games that people don't have a lot of items is because their last hitting is very poor. In low yellow, you'll tend to see a lot of kills and low CS because people love killing people basically in lower rating. They don't realize how strong or how meaningful getting last hits is, and it's very meaningful. If anything, focus on last hitting more than you do killing in lane phase, because that will give you more gold generally. Yeah, if you get extremely fed from kills, fair enough, but that doesn't happen often. So the enemy is looking for a pick. Got to be really careful right now. I do shield the Morgana. I do press the W. She does shield herself, which is very nice. Also, to avoid the stun, I do feel that a team fight is on its way. The enemy is all grouping in the mid lane. That is actually Meditate coming out from Master Yi, which is questionable because that is actually quite a long cooldown. And but the enemy is potentially looking to try and get a team fight, as they can win a team fight if they play it well. As I said in the beginning of this commentary, I prefer the enemy team comp for a couple of reasons. Here comes the Vladimir. Again, this Vladimir is not having a very good game. Vi is over to the side, which I think is actually really poor positioning. She should be with us, not completely the other side of, like, you know, the lane or whatever. There is a Lucian ult coming down, quite a bit of damage. And, you know, this is not looking great for us. This is going to be risky if we do go for a fight. And here comes the fight. Here it comes. It starts. I'm not using ult yet. I'm delaying using ult as much as I can until I see a very good opportunity. Master Yi was 100% going for me then, but I do manage to avoid it. Now, here we go. They're grouping up really nicely for me. Any second, I should be using my ultimate, and kabam. So there is a triple kill for myself, moving forward onto the Nami, and there's a quad for me. So what I did then, which was pretty good, is I delayed my ultimate as much as possible until I knew I could get a good one off. A lot of Oriannas, what they do is just willy-nilly use their ultimate on one person. You know, using that amount of damage, because it's a lot of damage on one person, to me, is a waste. I don't want to use, you know, what is it right now? We have in excess of about 700 damage on one person when that could hit multiple people. To me, it's an obvious thing. Sure, use it occasionally on one person, but especially in a team fight, don't be scared just to delay it a little bit to see if you can get it better. Now, obviously, I flashed over, if we take it just a little thing, I flashed over this wall to avoid the Master Yi. That was a good thing to do, because he was 100% running onto me. He did pick up a kill somewhere around here, and then I finished him off. And then, obviously, this is the big choke point. You know, fighting in the jungle against an Orianna generally isn't a very smart thing to do, because then it's easier for her to land ultimates. And that's what happened. I got the Vladimir and the Lucian, and then obviously we picked up the Nami over here. So that was really good. That was a very nice play. And here's the thing. Right now, if we further in looking to the builds, a lot of you, when you watch these commentaries, I hope you're kind of comparing yourself in what would you do in these situations. Now, if you look into this Pantheon, I hope a lot of you would be thinking, what is he doing? Why is he continuing to build damage? At least I am anyway. He practically is useless right now. Like, really, he is useless. He just got killed by Master Yi easily, and his damage is completely going to be falling off. Why isn't he building tank? Where is his Randuins? Where is his Thornmail? Or even Frozen Heart would be more useful. You know, he needs just to be a team member. Suck it up that he's not going to do damage. Suck it up that he's not carrying this game. That was a fail by me. And he really needs to build damage. I don't understand the thought process. Probably is that, no, I'm Pantheon top, I'm doing damage. But it's useless, you know. Pantheon in general is useless late game. The thing he's good at, or he's useless in damage terms late game, unless you are extremely fed, as mentioned. The thing he's good at is picking people off with ultimate, is herding people into the right direction by using ultimate, and finally being tanky. You know, his block passive is actually a very good thing. Now, what Morgana is, she's not being very careful. She could have shielded herself then, which I don't know why she didn't. She's now shielding herself. I'm going for the kill on Master Yi. Have to be careful here. Use my Zhonya's, and there is a boom Pantheon ult on top of him, so that's actually quite nice. Unfortunately, Vi went way too deep to try and pick up a kill, and she actually went down. That is going to happen more and more this game because of how squishy she is. She hasn't got one tank item. Like, literally one tank item, she doesn't have it. She is pure damage, which again, I think is a mistake. You've done a lot of damage. You're going to be doing a lot of damage with even like 3 of these items. Then build tank, or at least get a GA so you're more of a threat, or the enemy be like, oh, she's got GA, we need to kill other people, or you come back alive simply in that case. You know, build tanky in roles that need to be tanky. You know, the jungle, like, we don't have a tank at all right now. Now, yes, you can win games without tanks. I've said that multiple times, and a lot of people disagree with me. But yes, you can win games without tanks. But what a tank is a distraction. It pulls the attention away from your damage dealers, so they are free to do damage because they've got this big tanky thing in front of them. Now, the enemy team, I don't know, they may be looking for a Baron play. MF does use her E because she doesn't have a ward just to get some vision onto the Baron, so we've got to be careful of them actually doing it because they do it very quick. Now, what the enemy team is doing right here, we have zero vision of these guys, is they're looking for a pick. They know if they go into a straight team fight, they're probably not going to win. Have to be really careful. My team is getting a bit caught here. We're now moving into the general vicinity, but this team fight is really bad. Master Yi goes straight on my face. I do kill him with my ultimate, but he does get me, and that is probably going to be his job this whole game. Now, unfortunately, you know, MF wasn't in that team fight at all, but that's what the enemy need to do to win this game. They need to just find us and pick us off, and then they win. So MF she does something good here by memory. Yes, she does use the ultimate, which is great. You know, well done. If they get this turret, that is bad. You know, it is bad if they get it. If my team can hold them off from getting it, that's really good. So Pantheon ult does come down, which is actually a good thing. Again, he is practically useless at this stage of the game. Nice kill by MF using the Q there on the Vladimir, and then it hit into the Lucian, and he does actually pick up a kill as well. So that's actually well played by MF and Pantheon there. Well played to them. The only survivor is this Aurelia, and they didn't get like practically any damage on that turret, and they simply traded kills. That was really, really good. They actually got 3 kills for 2 deaths, so that's even better. Now, I knew Aurelia was probably basing in that area. Unfortunately, she does get out in time. That would have been a really good kill if I managed to get that. But now we're looking for the Baron because the enemy is dead for a considerable amount of time. The only people that are up are Master Yi and Aurelia, and we can most likely one-shot them if done correctly with my ultimate or whatever. And, you know, a Baron at this stage of the game would probably close it out for either team. The enemy team has a pretty good dive. You know, they're pretty strong in their dive. Now, what we're doing is looking for this Master Yi. Unfortunately, he positions in the complete wrong way, and he should go down. So I picked that up by shielding the Vi and pressing W when it lands. So that's a free kill, and that, in theory, should be a free Baron anytime soon. So we're not starting it yet. We're going to wait until my teammates are here. Also, we know the enemy are on their way. So I want my team to start the Baron right now. I don't know why Misfortune is in mid lane, but I want my team to start the Baron, and then I can look for a pick. Unfortunately, again, Lucian dodged everything that I put at him by using E, which is annoying. But we do manage to get both of them. So that was nice. That is the enemy walking into a blind situation and just simply dying for free. And now, finally, we can do the Baron, which is good. So the Baron, again, at this stage, for either team, if either team gets it, it is pretty much going to close out this game, as it gives the siege that a lot of teams lack. Like my team, we really have poor siege. We don't have a good tower siege at all. We have occasionally that I could probably pick somebody off with an Orianna ult, but again, I'm an Orianna player that tends not to use ult simply on one person. I prefer saving it on multiple people. So there is a chase going on for the Lucian. Is this chase worth it? Yes, it actually is worth it because he's the AD carry for the enemy team. If this was the support, no, I'd simply leave him alone. But that is the AD carry. That is the main guy who's going to be wave clearing. That is the main guy that is going to be causing us damage in the backline. So again, I'm going to look for further damage onto the Master Yi. If I should have used ultimate. Oh, I didn't have it on cooldown. Okay, that makes sense. You can see up here, I didn't have it on cooldown. But yeah, if I had ultimate there, that would have been a dead Master Yi. He does survive because, again, Misfortune ult doesn't do a lot. But I'm going to head over to the blue, simply pick that up, and maybe go back and buy. I do have 2,600 gold. So now you can see I've got a lot of gold. I think I have the most gold in the game at this point, with myself, Master Yi, and Vi actually now into the 16,000. So there's only 3 of us that are there. But yeah, this game is probably in its closing stages within the next couple minutes. My item build is now done, and so if we finish my build on 766 AP, I could have more AP, but I opted for going for the GA because I know 100% the Master Yi is coming for me. I'm a prioritized target because they know if I get a good ultimate off, they're practically all dead, so I do go for the GA. So my finished build is Deathcap, Zhonya's, GA, Void Stuff, Morellonomicon, and Sorcerer Boots. It's a pretty standard build, but it is fairly strong in all aspects. There's not many things that, you know, is bad about it. The only thing I'd say is if you want more damage, the Guardian's Angel could be replaced, arguably with a Lich Bane as an Orianna, especially if you know, say, like a Master Yi, who's a melee champion, is your only threat. Now, unfortunately, I have no idea what Morgana is doing right now. Like, why is she there, of all places to be? That was a big mistake by her. That's a free death. So we now have to be really careful. We can probably still win a team fight. We are actually looking for a pick right now. And we should be able to get it. And boom, there you go. That is an MF ult. That is now looking for a team fight. Any second, so they're continuing going for it. Pantheon nearly dies, but we should be okay. There's Vi ultimate, and any second, I might use an ultimate, maybe. Again, I have still got it on cooldown, and he does go down for free. So that wasn't that bad. Again, we didn't have Morgana in that fight. Vi is extremely squishy, so she's basically a burst bot that just runs into the fight, does a lot of burst, but simply will probably just die straight away. And that dragon means now we have 5 stacks of dragons. So, definitely the game is coming to an end, or I would think it would be. All we have to do is probably buy, get our health back, maybe for a couple people buy some finishing things. Obviously, I'm done my build. But yeah, now we're probably going to try and just close off the game. We need to... we actually haven't broken their base yet. They still have all the base turrets. So we need to break that. And when that is done, obviously this game is going to really be easy to win. So I do finally change out my trinket. I am somebody that likes actually to hold on to the warding trinket, as a lot of people have kind of noticed. I particularly don't like buying wards. That is, again, one of my weaknesses. I don't buy wards in practically any role apart from support. Like, I simply just don't like buying wards. It's something I need to work on, and even since my absolute 0 days, that's something I needed to do. So that's why I kind of keep on to the warding trinket for a long time. But I actually have now swapped to the blue one, because I actually quite like the blue one on AP mages, especially AP mages that have skill shots, that if they just run out of your sight, I can just move my blue orb there and then get vision of it. So we are going to look for the siege. We do again have the 5 stacks. There's a Pantheon coming down. He uses it in that way because it's not in range of tower. Nami is completely like nowhere near her team, so she has to be careful herself there. Nami wave comes down. I don't know why. And again, Relia comes in. Vladimir. So their team fight, like I could... It's very staccato. Hopefully a lot of you know what that means. It's very staccato in that one thing happens, and the next thing happens, and the next thing happens. They're not doing it as a unit, which is their main problem. They need to do things together and not as individuals. But this is going to probably be the end of the game relatively soon. I am at 19 kills right now, so me and Vi, I would say, did very well this game. Vi had a very good mid-game, and then in team fights, I could just pick up a lot of kills in team fights. I did okay ultimates this game. Obviously, the quadra kill was a very big one. From memory here, I completely muck up because I didn't realize where my ball was. Yep, right on my face. I actually wasn't looking where the ball was, but that's okay. We pick up more kills. So now I finished on 20 kills, 5 deaths, and 14 assists. Pretty good game for myself with 250 odd CS, and that is a surrender up vote from the enemy. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Again, in the comment section below, say if you'd like to see more of this pre-done stuff. It basically gives more analysis to the game. I understand if I was a bit rusty in this one. I think even myself, a couple of the times, I was like, that was a weird thing to say. So it will take me a couple of these to get back into the swing of things because I've been doing live commentaries for so long. But yeah, let me know in the comments below. Give it a like if you did like it. Subscribe if you haven't. And I'll see you guys in the next video. So, goodbye.